Heroes in a half-shell, mother... That's right, today we're talking about the Michael Bay produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, one thing that always kind of bothered me about that, Michael Bay produced The Purge, and I don't remember it getting so much shit about it. Little hypocrisy there, but moving on. Now, I'm not going to lie, the very first time I saw this movie, I was not a huge fan of it. However, I have since then, I did a full marathon run of the first three Turtles movies, the animated CGI, and then this one. And honestly, it holds up a lot better than I would have expected. I had some seriously rose-tinted glasses on my first viewing. That said, let's get off to what this movie does incorrectly. First and foremost, Iron Shredder. Now this could have worked. They could have started with the Shredder we all knew and loved, had him fight the Turtles and frankly get his ass kicked, thus needing a new power suit. But they needed to show us that leap, rather than just jumping right into... Speaking of Shredder, it's pretty clear if you watch the movie that William Fichtner was supposed to be the Shredder. In fact, the scenes involving the other guy really do feel shoved in simply to make sure there was another character. And honestly, I think it would have worked out just as well if Fichtner was Shredder. He clearly had all the backstory, he clearly had the focus of the film, and while this doesn't not work, that would have worked just the same. Secondly, there is way too much of April's friend, name I don't even care to remember. Yes, he was funny on Arrested Development, but that doesn't work here. In fact, nearly all of the scenes he's in, it feels like it's padding out the movie, and it feels like that's time that could have been used for more character development between the heroes, and between the heroes and villains. It felt like they were trying way too hard to put his funny into the movie, and frankly, it fails on almost every level.
Heroes in the half-shell.
Okay, get out.
Now, the next thing is Leo and Raph going at it again. Now, I understand, for whatever reason, every single adaptation has to have this antagonistic relationship. But frankly, if you go back and read the graphic novel, watch the cartoons, they're not always at each other. Raph doesn't always have to be the brooding asshole in every single adaptation. And while, again, I don't feel like this hurts the movie, it does kind of get a little old, particularly if you watch them all in a row. Because let's be blunt, Leo and Raphael go at it a lot. Even Raphael's speech at the end doesn't make a whole lot of sense in the context of that one movie. He really didn't ride the Turtles, he really didn't do all that much to need this character reaffirming speech as they're falling from the tower. It didn't feel necessary. Now, we get it because we know the backstory of the Turtles, but if this is your first movie, you're probably going to be confused as hell. Alright, now with that said, let's take a look at what they got correct. First and foremost, the Turtles. My issue with Raph and Leo aside, the Turtles are dead on. And I'll be honest, I like the new look. It not only gives each of them a unique feel aside from a color swap, but even down to the faces, it makes them look like actual turtles. It actually reminds me of the changes to Mortal Kombat over the years, as the ninjas who started out as a color swap of Sub-Zero and Scorpion have over time become their own unique characters, and it's nice to see the Turtles have a similar evolution. Now next up we gotta talk about Megan Fox's April. Wait. Let me explain. Yes, Megan Fox shocked the hell out of me in this movie because she did a great job bringing April to life. And yes, the backstory linking her and the Turtles was a little goofy, but I feel like it was well done and frankly well acted. But eventually they did remember why you casted it.
Yeah, that's good.
But aside from that, she does have an actual character in this, and does more than almost any other person who's taken on the April role. Hell, she even lands the finishing blow on the Shredder. And finally, the story. Backstory aside, they do a good job of getting us an awesome Turtles movie with great action, enough exposition that you know what's going on without it feeling like an info dump, and enough that you really want to see what happens next. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie, and I look forward to see what happens in the sequel, as we already know that the next story will introduce Bebop, Rocksteady, Krang, and Casey Jones. This is shaping up for a franchise that will really not only pay homage to the old, but add something to the Ninja Turtles franchise. Until next time, my name is Vega Goose saying thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.
Who needed proof that from out of the dark came an awesome sound?
shouting cowabunga as they hit the ground. From the field of weeds, the heroes rescued the flower, cause they possess eternal power.
Heroes in the half shell.
Okay, get out.